Sayonara. And... Whoop. Nom nom nom. One bite. Whoop. There we go. Whoop. Whoop. This is just our first try, but this build's insane, man. I don't think Lilith can even touch us anyways. So you always want to move around to spawn a couple more puddles. And then, yeah. Hey everybody, it's Rob here. Welcome to the best Druid build of the season. Pulverize in the recent patch has just been juiced up and we're hitting for hundreds of billions of damage here every time we place our puddle and get our Pulverize. My Pulverize here is 560% weapon damage. We just got a 25% juice up from the last patch here. And as you've seen in the intro, guys, the Druid is eating good. One could even say that he looks familiar to some special characters that we have available here. But yeah, guys, the Druid lost his hair, but he is eating super good, man. This is one of the strongest S++ tier build, and it all revolves around the Rotten Lightbringer. I'm gonna have showing you here a pit 100 run at the end of the video. We're gonna go over all the setup, all the gear, and what you need to get cracking and to get slapping on this absolute unit of a Druid. Super fun and very, very strong. So let's get into it here. The planner is, as always, linked below. So this is the new weapon here, the Rotting Lightbringer. This drops from Varshan and from Uriva. And this is the key of the build. This makes your Pulverize always overpower and spawn this puddle here. And when you smash into the puddle does explode if it doesn't bug out. Sometimes there's a bug, but most of the time it explodes and it deals tremendous amount of damage. I've seen this up to 1 trillion and plus hits in runs, and here on the target dummy it hits for up to 200 billion, and that's always 2 hits minimum because you have here 94% chance to hit twice with your Pulverize. So this is the main weapon, and then there's like all kinds of different runes that you can use, but this is the main thing that you need, the Rotten Lightbringer. Then the amulet is also extremely good here. This basically, whenever you have Grizzly Rage, which is like the main skill that you use, you're going to be constantly, the big bear is your friend all the time. And this also converts your direct damage, so your more Pulverized damage, into poison damage and allowing you to spread rabies as well. It's just like poisoning all the enemies, and we need this for various buffs here. Then we're rocking the Rampaging Werebeast. This just allows our Grizzly duration to go crazy. And what's also really important here, to have the boots to make Pulverize an Earth skill, so we can constantly use it during the Werebear and during the Grizzly Rage. This is going to be tremendously helpful. And we also rock some Pulverize Size here with Pulverize Shockwave aspect. So we can even, from afar, we can even, like, you know, proc into our puddle and damage the enemies by just procking into the puddle, basically, with the Pulverize. Then we are rocking the Starless Skies, we're rocking Tybet's Will, we are rocking Shroud of False Death, and the Air of Perdition. This all is used to get a bunch of skills to core ranks for Pulverize, and super strong. The rotation is also very simple, and there are a few tricks here I want to show you. So basically, when you're going into a pit or you're coming up to some enemies, first of all, you want to shapeshift a couple times. This will give you your quick shift passive. So that's a passive that gives you more damage. So you can shift into a werewolf using claw here. You notice we only really use 4 skills. You can have a 5th one, but most people don't even use this, and they just play 4-button build. And in the end, this is very easy to play, basically 1-button build if you want. You just need to do a couple things before you go. So you basically shapeshift a couple times, and you see this is going to stack up the damage increase here. So you can basically claw, Pulverize, or claw, do your debilitating roar, doesn't matter. You can also, this is a very nice trick, you can also just say hello. It must be hello, because that also transforms you into a human, and that also gives you stacks if you should lose them. But normally, as long as you stay Werebear form all the time with Grizzly Rage, because you're going to have it permanently up, because it's just extended here and it goes crazy. And you can still say hello and transfer into a human just to keep that damage buffs up. But as you go in with 6 stacks here, then you just press your Grizzly Rage, and then you're basically ready to smash, right? You see here instantly 200 billion hit on these target dummies, and every single hit is orange. Every single number is crazy. And this goes completely nuts. This is like so freaking strong. And you can also overlap the puddles. Like if you move around a bit, you have a higher chance of getting more puddles, right? We're hitting for 200 billions here all the time. It's super crazy. And when there's more monsters, more puddles overlap, and you're even hitting for up to trillions and trillions. So that's fucking insane. And you can still run around and play a bit ranged if you want. However, I always recommend like staying a bit closer, because the puddle is always going to spawn on you here. So you want to be close to the enemy, and then basically all you do is press Q. You don't need to do anything else pretty much once you already have the stacks. Obviously, you can recast your Debilitating Roar. It just reduces the enemy's damage that they deal. And you can still recast your ultimate. It gives you a bit of damage from a passive here we'll talk about in a second. But you can just see here how insane this build is. And on a single target, you're also not really having any resource problems. You see, this is going to be the single target. Only when you're Crux rune procs. Right now, I'm still playing Crux. But you can see here my resource is super fine, and you just want to move around, especially on like if you're fighting Rift Guardians or bosses that you don't one-shot. You want to move around a bit because that makes your puddles overlap, and the more puddles you have, the more damage you deal. So that's completely insane. So that's just all the skills that you need. So basically one button build, like you just do some shape-shifting before, get into the sack, and then never leave the werebear form. Basically just keep refreshing your ultimate. You see it never runs out. We can just like, if we attack every once in a while, we refresh the duration, and it never ever runs out. And should it run out, I mean, you can just press it again before it runs out, right? And you just like keep juicing up this ultimate and keep getting it stronger. And this is like, you know, multiple hits. Like you're not only doing one hit, you're doing double hit every time you press Pulverize because you have 90+% chance. And then for every puddle, you're also doing another hit. So we're hitting here for 100, 200 billion, but there's like 10 hits if we do it right? So it's completely insane. Like this build is insanely strong. Right now, it did pit 150. This is easy pit 100 clear for you with the setup that I'm going to show you here. And yeah, that's just completely wild. So there is a couple different setups. So there's the Fat Uberman. This is the one I'm playing right now. This is the one that's mostly recommended for most people. There's also a bit of a speed version. There's different runes you can play. So Ahu Quax is pretty much almost always in. It gives you a ton of damage. You can play Igni Cry, and you'll see this in the pit runs. This helps you a ton with pulling. And for speeds, I also sometimes play Buck Jar. This also allows you to move around like a lot. And for boss killing, you can always change the Cry rune here with Om, because obviously you don't need any pulls. If you're just fighting Belial, I'm just recommending you play the Om rune with Igni and still say with Ahu Quax. That's pretty strong. And then also, if you're fighting bosses, we're probably going to make a boss setup as well. You don't need Fractured Core. You would want to play the extra resources here, Reactive Ooze. It just helps you to keep your resources, especially if you're starting out. But this is just a super cool setup, and this Bug Jar also allows you to speed farm, teleport around all the time, basically. Then I'm going to show you here. So I was playing the boss killing setup, but we're going to switch to Cry, and then I show you some runs here. We show you a pit run as well. But first of all, let's talk skill tree. So this is how the skill tree looks, just 2 points into Claw. Like, just need to unlock the next section. You are maxing out Wild Impulses. You're maxing out Pulverize with Raging Pulverize. You can max out Iron Throne. This one is optional. This gives you some nice defense. You can also put these 3 points here into the Catastrophe. After you cast an ultimate, you would deal 20x damage for 8 seconds. That's also pretty good. I don't know, I think for most players, you just want some toughness. You're going to be a big, fat bear, and you're going to be the fridge. You're going to tank everything. Just 1 point into Cyclone Armor. You don't really need it much. You only cast it at the beginning, and it can help you stay survive. But, like, you know, when you're in the bear form, you don't need it. In the bear form, you don't need it so much. Then we have Backlash here. We have Ancestral Fortitude. This one helps you to fix your res, shall you need it. So it's very comfortable on this build to max out res. So I have the res here. If I'm using my buffs, I have all my res maxed. And I don't have a single res roll anywhere, right? But there's several pieces where you can take res if you need it. So you can take res, for example, here instead of willpower, if you like. You can take res here instead of willpower. Or you can take res here instead of willpower or instead of vulnerable, depending a bit on your setup. But that's basically, I don't need any res, but I'm also already at 300 Paragon. So I don't really need the res from here because I have my Paragon board. I'm going to link that below. I'm going to show it to you here. That's going to max you out with your res, even if you don't have any res on any of your gear. Not a single res roll. But again, I think for most people watching here, you want to have one res roll, either on boots, on the gloves, or on one of the rings. So very important. Same goes for armor. Like, I have armor cap with only one armor roll, and I'm super overcapped. You see when I enter the Grizzly Rage. So even if I would not have this, even if I would not have these boots, like, we would still have the armor cap pretty much. But right now, I just like to have armor cap even when I'm not Grizzly, because I like to say hello and greet my friends, pet the kitty, you know, while I'm fighting. And then you still want to have, like, the big armor buffs. But yeah, it's very easy to max armor. There's also even more on the Paragon sides of things where you can get more armor that I didn't even take. So just make sure that your res and your armor is maxed when you're buffed. Yeah, so the Ancestral Fortitude is very good. Then we just take damage multipliers, Nature's Reach, Fertile Aptitude. We have big life here with Mending. We have a big damage here, all the damage and some healing basically. We play the Quick Shift here. This is also really good passive. As long as you keep shape-shifting, the buff will stay. And you only lose it when you are in human form. And shall you forget to... like if you just enter and accidentally, you click your ultimate, just like this. You see now I entered my ultimate without shapeshifting. So I'm just in bear form and I can't get out, right? Like you cannot leave this form. But what you can do is you can just press hello. And what that will do, it's going to transform you into a human form. And then you can transform back by pressing Pulverize. And you can transform back into a bear form. And this is just a really nice trick to get the stacks anyways. If you forget it or, I don't know, you lose it for whatever reason, you can alternatively also press the teleport key. Teleporting will also transform you back into a human. And that also gives you the quick shift buffs again. And again, you can just pet the kitty, say hello, and that's also going to transform you, right? So very simple and very nice trick to get an extra. In my case here, it's an extra 50% X multiplicative damage. Remax Grizzly Rage, and we play Earthen Strength here. Then in terms of the boons, there's a couple options here. So first one here is a no-brainer. Gift of Stack, you always take it for resources. Then you always take the Wrath here. You always specialize in the Eagle. And then if you want more damage, you take Swooping Attacks. If you want more toughness, you can see here, we have 14,000 life. But if I want to, I can just unspec this and get this. And then we just get more life, 21,000 now. So there's like a lot of options here for you. This is extremely good, but the attack speed is also nice. So for bossing, I take the swooping attacks. And if I feel like I'm squishy or you don't have all the Uber uniques yet, I would definitely recommend Iron Feather. Then you take Calamity, and then you can take the Masochist here. This is like just giving you some extra healing. It's pretty nice. You also see some other people taking no Calamity. There's also an option here for Energize to get even more Spirit. This is up to you, like if you need more Spirit or if you need more... resources. Like I think here overall, like if you're just pressing your buttons a lot, Energize is the best, but Calamity works as well. It's a bit more like beginner player friendly if you don't have all the crazy gear yet, right? So for most of you, I probably recommend Calamity. So this just ensures that you always have Grizzly Rage. Even if you're not hitting like the monsters for a couple seconds here and there, you're still gonna have an extra extended duration here basically. Then we go to the Paragon. So you see there's lots of options here. You just pick whatever you like and whatever you prefer. Here's the Paragon board. So we're rocking Spirit. Obviously, we're critting all the time. The way we reach max crit chance here is we have 95 sheet, but there's also this roll here which gives our Earth skills crit chance. And our Pulverize is obviously an Earth skill, and we can get 9% here, and we can get another 9% here. So we would only need 82% crit chance. And even if you don't have a greater affix on your Air of Perdition, you're probably still going to reach about 80%, and then with these rolls, you're going to be close to 100%. Alternatively, you can also get crit chance on your gloves. That also works. But for me, like I also have a greater affix on the Starless Sky, so this helps a lot, obviously. And I have like way overkill. I wouldn't even need this greater affix or this greater affix, and I'd still be fine. So as long as you have one of them, or you can also roll crit chance on your ring. Just make sure you have 100 crit chance with the Earth crit chance buffs. So every hit, every hit is smashing. Every hit is going crazy. That's the goal. Okay, then we're rocking here, Dominate, Overpower. Obviously, we overpower every time with the Rotten Lightbringer, with Ancestral Guidance. And here, guys, it's really important to not go for a greater affix resource reduction roll on your Rotten Lightbringer, because right now my Pulverize only costs 14 Spirit, and if I have a greater affix roll, it's only going to cost like 10 or something. But you want to spend Spirit to proc your Ancestral Guidance damage multiplier. 75 Spirit, that's already like a couple of attacks. You know, that's already like 6 attacks at 14. So you don't want the greater affix resource cost reduction. Like mine is already like pretty high roll. You just want to be careful that you still proc your Ancestral Guidance, because it's a big, big damage multiplier. Then we're rocking Fang and Claw here. This is just the highest multiplier. There's also Earth and Sky that you can play or Outmatch. However, I really like the Fang and Claw. It's the highest multiplier that you can get. You just need to be close and you need to be in werebear form. Then we rock Earth and Devastation. Obviously, Earth skills, that's big. Then we have the Headhunter here, also big multipliers, 200 willpower almost. And we have the heightened malice. Basically, you just poison enemies. Like you spawn the poison puddle, right? And it deals poison damage here. So the puddle is just going. Poison damage over 7 seconds. So you always have this up as well. And then last but not least, we're rocking the Keeper here. You deal 15x. And you also have Survival Instinct here because you're going to be constantly in werebear form. And that's pretty much like all the damage here that we have. And that's the setup. For the Horadric stuff here, we're rocking 20x more elemental damage because we're doing poison damage. We're rocking some extra toughness here. Right now I'm playing proc. But there's also this one here that most people play without the proc. It's just some more damage reduction, and you also get maximum resistance to all elements. And then we are using the Rapid Bear here, and this one has the 6x primary, 6x life. And yeah, getting an amulet, guys, is really, really hard to get. The most important thing on the amulet is Envenom. Then I would like Willpower. You also get Willpower here, so it loses a bit of value. And Venom is definitely the best. And then you can take either Quick Shift. You can also take Toxic Claws, which is also pretty decent. There's like a lot of like decent passives because this Envenom Willpower one is very, very expensive. It's hard to get. I got lucky, you know, like you gamba some, and we played quite a few, obviously, like getting the Paragons. I also had help from my community, so it's like not that easy to get these amulets. I also still don't have good gloves. You obviously want GA Pulverize here on the gloves and stuff like that. So that's how it looks, boys, and this build is so strong. I'm gonna leave you and show you here some pit runs, but the Druid, guys, is finally eating good. I have 5,000 willpower here in my new setup, and we are completely smashing everything. This build is so cool, and I'm very, very happy for the Druid. The Druid, he was kind of in hibernation. You know, he was like a sad dog, a sad wolf. But now, man, he's certainly eating good, man. Look at that jawline. He like, whoop, nom, nom, nom. Everything dies. Here's the pit 99. Let's go. All right, boys. This is going to be the fridge versus a pit 99. Start off, get the stacks. And then we just smash. And we whoop, eat the pack. Eat them alive. You see how nice the Cry Rune is pulling? I might even trade a teleport one. Boom. 3 hits. We smash those. Do you like the special voices that my fridge is making when I'm attacking? It's great. Hey guys, this is the new freshly buffed PUDDLE Druid, man. PUDDLE Pulverize. It has the best sound effects, man. When he gets hungry, he eats. He takes no prisoners. No, a quick chop here. Quick wood chopping job. I think we can speedrun this tier, actually. I just need to go to teleport, maybe. Just say hello sometimes to the guys. He takes these easy, man. He takes them easy. Free ASMR. Hitting for hundreds of billions, man. Chop, chop, chop. Okay, we chopped the first room. Fully done. Next room here. Ready to be chopped as well. Oh, there's Uber Goldman. Okay, and these guys that run away, but they can't run from the fridge, dude. Fridge is too heavy to run away from. Look, chopped. 3 hits, man, this pack on 99. They're just all getting chopped. I think casting the ultimate is actually giving me damage now. With my current setup. Yeah, I think in a good map, man, we can do 2-minute run. This is just our first try, but this build's insane, man. Just gets the job done, man. It keeps your food cold. That's right. It keeps it all cool, man. Yo, the hits are insane, man. 200 billion, dude. I like the Cry Rune. Like, now it's pulling them in as well. It seems very nice. You always gotta greet your fellow brothers. Just quick hello to shapeshift. Okay. Get them all chopped. Okay, here's the boss. 3 minutes, boss spawn. Oh, my brother. You guys seeing him? Hello. You gotta always greet your brother, guys. If you see him, you must extend your warm greetings to him. He's so nice. Okay, wait for him to come back. Our brother. He's our friend. I don't think Lilith can even touch us anyways. So you always want to move around to spawn a couple more puddles. And then, yeah, there we go. 3.5 minutes or so. Pit 99. Boom. This is the PUDDLE Druid. He's even fighting against his own family, man. He's taking revenge on his brother, man. Wolf or bear versus wolf, man. This is a crazy fight. Yeah, that's the build, my friends. It's a ton of fun. That's the setup, dude. Got all the stuff, man. Almost 5k willpower. Let's go, my friend. Druid eating good. Look at this here, man. 560% on Pulverize PUDDLE. Let's go. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe, leave a like or a comment. I'm also live on Twitch almost every day, so come and say hi.